All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying all the tech news that are coming out with CES 2025. But the biggest thing is that we are here today talking about is the RTX 50 series. If you guys missed that last episode on talking about if you should buy a used 4080, you guys can check that out here on the top right corners of your screen. And of course, if you're new here to the channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so you guys don't miss out on any new video, whether it be tech reviews, gaming, and or live streams in the future. So let's go ahead and dive into this right here. We're going to go ahead and talk about the keynote that Jensen did, right? He presented everything about the GeForce RTX 50 series, and that it is the next generation of graphics cards continuing on with the AI scaling and improvements, right? So they released the 5070, 5070 Ti, and the 5080 and the 5090, right? So you have these four GPUs here, and they're going to be available, at least with the 5080 and the 5090. Those two cards are going to be available January 31st on the website here on Nvidia and other partners available. So be on the lookout for that. I know I'm going to be on the hunt for an RTX 5090. If I can't buy one, then I'll settle for the 5080 since I've had my 4080 for now. Now let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room here, the 5070 claiming to be the 4090. Now, that is definitely a big ask, right? And we won't know exactly what the real numbers would look like after the review embargoes and stuff like that are lifted from everyone else that's out there, right? Linus Tech Tips, and then you have Hardware Unboxed and things like that, the sources that I've linked before. And I'll leave some of their videos down below in the comments so you can see like Digital Foundry's deep dive in the 5080 that he was able to utilize on their channel. So I just want to jump in here real quick. The realest thing that you guys can see here without using any of the AI upscaling, right, on the chart, you're going to see here, it's all these other games, Plague Tale Requiem, Cyberpunk 2077, and the other things here that follows. This is using all of the DLSS, DLSS 4, and the frame generation 4 times mode here on the 50 series, right? Fine print. You guys need to read the fine print here at the very bottom of this stuff. So you have to be wary too. Look, it says 2560 by 1440p. So 1440p gaming, and you're looking at a maybe hypothetically a 25% increase over the previous 4070, right? That's what they're claiming here on their charts without any of the DLSS technology or the AI upscaling that's enabled on their games. So if you're telling me that the 5070 is going to be just as powerful as a 4090, let's go over here. It looks like the 4090 versus the 5090 is only as well about 20 to 25% better with ray tracing enabled in the native resolution. And this is at 4K, by the way. So you went from 1440p straight to 4K comparing these two cards. So realistically, don't fall for the trap of believing that the 5070 at $550 performs like a 4090. So, hence, I will leave a link on a video down below for all the other stuff that I've seen the details on. But what it means is if your card is rendering 30 frames, right? Let's say the 5070 here renders 30 frames natively at 1440p or 4K, and you turn on this 4x4 mode, right? Or frame gen 4x mode, right? On your 5070, then you're able to achieve the native resolution or performance, which is here at that, let's say 120 frames that the 4090 can do versus your 5070 at 30 frames. So now when you do the 4x on the 5070, obviously 3 times 4 is 120 or 12 frames, right? 30 times 40 or 30 times 4 is 120 frames. Now you're matching the performance of that 4090. So again, figure out what games you're going to play, right? Take into account for the video that I made previously before this one. Should you buy a used 4080 on the market now, or even a used 4090? Honestly, ever since the keynote from yesterday, 4090s of being on the used market, you can finally find them for under $1,500. People are literally letting them go for $1,000 to $1,500 out there. So be smart, figure out what you're gonna do. If you're gonna spend $1,000, I would say probably go for the 5080, which we already know is gonna be at 100%, anywhere from at least 50, anywhere from 10 to 20% better than the 4080, right? And at least 10% better than the 4070, right? So if you're looking for native gaming, higher response time, better frame rates, things like that, and the higher resolutions without using any of this tech, buying a used 4080 or even 40 series card is going to be better for you if you can find them way cheaper, right? But obviously, 5070, we're thinking there's already speculations out there that the 5070 is only going to be about 10% to 10% on average better than the 4070 Super that's currently out right now. So I would say hold off on it, but for $550, you definitely can't beat that. If you're coming from a 40 series GPU going into the 50 series and you're looking at this, I would hold off on it for now and see what the numbers are. So don't go selling your old 40 series card. I don't think it's worth it just yet. Because again, you're paying for frame generation and DLSS 4. If you're in the 30 series card, I would say this is the best time to upgrade for you. Especially if you're on the 20 series card, definitely go out there and grab yourself a 5070, 5070 Ti, and you will see a mind-blowing difference in performance, right? But that's only one part of your system that you're going to have to upgrade. So again, don't fall for that trick of, or the ruse of the 5070 being a 4090. You guys that have 4090s, hang on to those GPUs. If you want to splurge all that money on a 5090, go for it, right? I would definitely not fall into that play of, yes, it's better. 5070 is like a 4090. There's no way. And at that point, AMD, Intel, everybody would literally be wiped off this planet. Like there would be no competition at this point. Like there is already slim pickings for competition already. So with that moving forward, what is DLSS 4, and what does it do, right? So frame gen 3x and 4x, right? We talked a little bit about that on that performance chart down below. So essentially here, this is exactly what I was talking about just previously, right? So if your 5070 is rendering 28 frames natively just with ray tracing on, right? Because they want to sell the ray trace, right? Let's say you turn off ray tracing and you get 40 frames. And then you have your 5070 and you turn on frame gen 3x or 4x, right? Then the math is mathing right there at DLSS 4. You're going to get the 240 frames, but it's still going to feel your response time on your mouse. It's still going to feel like the 30 frames that you're getting. So don't expect that if you're getting higher frames, it doesn't mean that your response time is going to be faster. It just means the picture or the projected image that's coming out is going to look smoother, move a lot faster, and obviously run better. Not necessarily feel better, but it'll look better, right? So it says right here, GeForce RTX 5090 in 4K with RT Overdrive max setting, DLSS with a 4X mode, ray reconstruction, and performance mode. So again, you guys got to read into the fine print on everything, right? So this is what it is, right? So here we go. We're going to look at RTX on, RTX off, RTX on, RTX off. Yeah, you guys can check this out. This is on Nvidia's website. I'll have this link down below. And then Nvidia Reflex, right? This is supposed to help with the latency that you get when you do turn on the frame generation. But again, this is only available on games that support it. So here's another thing you got to ask yourself is, am I going to go out there and spend XYZ on this brand new card to get this AI tech? Remember, you still got to look at the base of the game, right? So if you're rendering 30 frames, but you're getting 240, but it still feels like you're running 30 frames, this is supposedly supposed to help with that latency, right? So you go from 64 and then you turn it on, you get a lower latency on there. So, but again, it only supports a couple of games right now with this coming out. And then you also have creative information here. All of this stuff obviously is available for everyone on NVIDIA's website. So looking here at the 5090 compared to the 4070, you get a full breakdown. Here you are right here, right? 12 gigs still on both the 70 class cards. And then when you go into the 70 Ti, you're getting 16 as well as 16 gigs on the 5080. Now on the 5090, you're getting 32 gigs of GDDR7. That's going to be a huge improvement. Way, way out there, right? So honestly, for anybody who didn't get a chance to buy the 4090, be thankful that you didn't, because I don't think you missed out on anything last generation for these past couple years. Because look at this, the AI tops, you're getting almost 3 times the AI tops available in there from the 4090 over to the 5090. On top of that, you're getting over the 32 gigs. You're getting almost double the gigs per second on the memory bandwidth. So if you went out there and you spent $1,500 or $2,000 on your 4090, that's a hard bullet to bite or catch because that 5090 is out. So again, if you guys are trying to find graphics cards out there, now is the time to buy into the used market in the 40 series market. Again, at this point, I don't think buying any used 30 series GPUs are worth it, let alone the 20 series GPUs. If you're playing 1080p and you're playing like cozy games, maybe buying like a 20 series or a 30 series card used for under $300. At this point, I don't think you should pay more than $300 for a 3080. Right? These guys asking $1,000 for the 3090 Ti's, they are smoking crack. They are smoking literal crack, right? You guys lost their money. You're gonna have to bite the bullet on that one. So don't buy into that whole 3090 Ti's, 3090s for $1,000 or even $800. I think you should pay maybe $400 or $500 for a used 3090 Ti. And then obviously for your 4070 Ti Super, I think paying $550 for it used or 600 or less is going to be worth it. But other than that, at this point, right, 4070 Ti, 4070 Ti Super, at least the Ti Super, you can get the 16 gigs of VRAM for less than what you can get the new 5070 Ti. So, yeah, have fun hunting out there. And with that being said, right, we're gonna lead into the should you buy a 50 series card, or something else, or hang on to your old card. So I think if you have a 40 series GPU, I think you'll be all right. Right, we're gonna have DLSS 4 available to all of the generations of the cards going back to the 20 series cards, right? So you're gonna have DLSS 4 available for all those GPUs. So we're gonna go ahead and check this out right here. So here are all the other specs, more detailed specs on the GPUs and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and leave that down below so you guys can see that here. So again, use market, buy a 40 series card if you have a 20 series card or a 30 series card. Save yourself some money. But again, like I said, 4070 Ti Super, don't pay more than $550. $600 is good, but if you're gonna pay over $600 used in used market, just go for that new 5070 Ti. And then obviously 3090s, 3080s, $300 to $500 max. I don't even know if you should even pay $500 for a 3090 Ti just because you can get a 5070 that's way better, way faster than the 3090 by almost a lot, an exorbitant amount. So don't waste your money on that. Sadly, the 20 series and 30 series cards are pretty much almost, I wouldn't say obsolete, but for price to performance cost per frame, it's not going to be worth it at all anymore. Like, don't invest into it. So the call is yours, guys. But thank you for joining me on today's video. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, hit that notification bell icon, and of course, check out the rest of the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Red Zone signing off. Keeping it real, keeping it hot, and keeping it raw. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Deuces.